Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm out on a little ride on this beautiful Honda CBF600. I'm in Germany. I'm heading to a friend of mine, and I just thought I'd give you a little taste of the weather here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So my tires are cold, so I've got to take a little bit easy. And this corner is well known for a chipper van to go around and leave all its oil. So it's half overcast, it's sort of sunny. It's not cold, I'd say it's around about 15-16 degrees. And I'm heading out to a very good friend of mine. Just get the camera here all better lined up. So I think you can see me nicely in there. I might be getting a little bit too much of my helmet. Just bend it in a little bit. So what was that? Did I stop the camera? Right, well, what's all this video going to be about? Well folks, I just want to tell you I was on one of the nicest bikes I've ever driven. I had one when I was younger, and it was the fastest bike on the road in its time. It is the Yamaha RD400D. Now this beautiful bike, which is of course a two-stroke bike with disc brakes front and back, was well ahead of its time in its day. I went over to Ireland, picked up the bike and went up the Wicklow Mountains on it, and I really do think that you should have a look at this video. If you like two strokes, man, the bike was just amazing. The sound was just amazing. The smell was just amazing. The smoke that was coming out of the back of it was just delicious. Goes actually. Keep on going. Oh, fuck. Yes, I have. The brakes were actually excellent. I mean, I'm not talking about now brakes Brembo M50s on a modern bike sort of thing, but in those days it must have been amazing to have that type of brakes. Brakes are lovely. I can see why people loved these RDs in the day. It must have been the beast of all beasts. I must say it was just amazing. just a, oh man, it's just a gorgeous country. There is nothing like it. There is absolutely nothing like it. The roads that you have in Ireland up the mountains, okay, right, okay, Austria, great, the Dolomites, fantastic, yeah, long sweeping fast corners, but it doesn't excite half as much as if you were in Ireland on an RD350 or RD400, giving it the complete welly and going around corners and up and down bumps. Airborne at stages, pulling wheelies with that lovely, delicious, gorgeous sounding engine of an two-stroke RD400. Now honestly, you don't really need an awful lot more power. I'd say it would actually rip past this without a doubt. And this is what, 86 brake horsepower, and would be considered as a modern bike. Okay, the shocks on the RD, well, a little bit outdated, and you don't have any rider aids whatsoever. You've no ABS, you've no traction control, you've no bloody nothing. And basically I was bottoming out on a lot of those bumps in Ireland, but amazingly as well, the bike was able to cope with it. It wasn't wallowing around, it wasn't getting too out of shape. It was getting a little out of shape, but it wasn't getting completely out of shape. It was nose diving on the softy front forks. Okay, probably needs a fork rebuild and that, and I would definitely give it a better shock. Like, I'm going to give my XJ600 a better rear shock and some good fluid in the front forks. Tighten them up a little bit. Probably put a little bit of a heavier fluid in. I think the 10 is the usual, maybe even the 5, I don't know, but I'm going to be putting in probably the Milber's 15, and that'll sort out the softiness at the front and a little bit of the nosedive. But other than that, folks, the bike just behaved beautifully, and it was such a crack to ride. You don't want to change too much on it, and a bike like that, I mean, it was looking really good as well. You don't really need to get yourself a complete respray and make the thing look like new if it is 50 years old. God, 50 years old. I mean, it was just amazing for 50 years old, folks. 50 years old. It's a lifetime for some. It's a lifetime for my father. But amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, what's that little quad over there? That looks neat. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So if you haven't seen the video, I'm going to put a link to it right up there, and it should be at the end as well. God, you have to see it. I mean, you have to see it. You can really get a feeling of the speed I was doing. Now, folks, I was concentrating. I mean, I was trying to keep that thing on the road. I was bottoming out. I was airborne. I was taking it relatively easy on the suspension in the bends. I mean, you really didn't have any mega corner entry speed and exit speed. You just had to sort of follow one speed going through and try and correct the bike a little bit, because if there were any bumps on the road, well, you were sort of moving around quite a lot on the bumps, and I'd say it would whip out at you like a flash. So here I am at this stupid traffic light here, but it gives me a chance to say a couple of things without any wind noise, which is always great. So I hope you just stay with me for a little while. I'm going to be at my buddy's house in a bit. I'm dead late. I'm probably an hour late. By the time I get to him, I'm an hour late, and I have to be home by 12 o'clock to walk the dog. And after that, I'm going to be picking up my wife at the airport because she's coming in from Portland, America. So I've got a busy day, and I'm working tomorrow, so I'm going to try and get this video up sometime today if I get a chance to. It should be an easy enough one, because I'll just be able to put both footages from both cameras up and synchronize them on Final Cut Pro, and if it does its trick, well, I should be quite an easy process. So I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing and being with me. I'm now up to over 200, 208, 210 subscribers now at this stage. Okay, I'm sort of happy with it. It's not too bad. I'm getting there. I would have liked to have had 1,000 subscribers. So if you like the video and you like the content, well, do help me along. It would help me quite a lot if you would subscribe and like, and hit the bell button as well, because that's a good thing. You always get to see my next video, and there's going to be some fantastic videos coming up, because I've lots and lots of things planned. I'm actually spending a day with Ducati, probably driving the Diavel and the Multistrada, and if I can get on a naked bike as well, I'll get onto a naked bike as well, a V2 or a V4. I'm not too certain which bike I'm gonna get. I also want to ride the Triumph Rocket this year, and I definitely want to see if I can get my hands on some of the new Triumph Adventure bikes, just to see if they're really as good as people say they are. Unfortunately, it really didn't hit the jackpot for Triumph, because people compared them to the Multistrada, to the 1290 Duke, and to the GS, and so on and so on, and it really didn't win on any of those bikes. Mostly it came last, but it does have a lovely engine sound. The triple is gorgeous. It has this plain crank which sort of makes it sound like a twin, but it's actually a triple, and it has this lovely airbox roar out of it, like most Triumphs do have. So I'm looking forward now to get my hands on a couple of Triumphs. I also want to do the new Honda Hornet and the Suzuki 8S. I think they're going to be really nice. They're little parallel twins, also a plain crank with the 270 degrees firing order. It's supposed to have great torquiness, The Honda is supposed to have a little bit more up at the higher end, and the Suzuki is supposed to have a little bit more grunt down below, with a little bit less brake horsepower, but a little bit more torque. So they're going to be interesting to compare, and I really do want to do a nice comparison. So there's lots of new bikes that I really want to get my hands on and do some testing for you. Suzuki have come up with this new 8S, which they're putting in probably into a couple of their new motorcycles, and it is the first really new engine that Suzuki have come up with in a long time. So definitely looking forward to having a drive on that. That should be a bit of a crack. Both of them sort of around the 100 brake horsepower sort of thing, 90 something, 80 something, 90 something. Will it be something I'd like to replace this lovely CBF Honda for? I'm not too sure yet. I'm putting new tires on this. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you, will I put the Continental roads on these, or will I put a set of Pirellis on these? The Diablo 3s, I think they are called, and the Conti Road 6, is that what they're called? So I have both of the tires actually. I've ordered both sets, and I'm not too sure what ones would be better. So if you have any ideas there, please do let me know. It'd be absolutely fantastic. I'm running, I think, Bridgestones on this at the moment, and they've been on it for about 6 or 7 years, so they definitely need replacing. I mean, I don't do an awful lot of mileage on it, but you know, tires, they just get tired after a while, and I think they have sort of flat spot as well. It's not cornering as nice as it actually should do. I mean, it's okay, it's fine. So then there's my trip to Ireland and Scotland. I'm really looking forward to my trip to Ireland, because if we're really lucky, we're going to have some fantastic weather. It's going to be the middle of July, I think the 16th of July. We're heading off from Frankfurt here, and then we're going to Hook of Holland, I think, and then we're going over to Newcastle, to England. That's about a 14 or 16 hour crossing. After that, we're going to spend a couple of days in Britain, in England. I'd actually like to go up to Scotland, because I don't really know Scotland at all. And then from there on, we're going over to hit Belfast, well, north of Belfast. We're going up to Malin Head, which is the very tip of Ireland, and then we're going to travel down the Irish coast, which is the Wild Atlantic Way, and we're going to sort of get inland a little bit now and then. We're all sort of placing it by ear. We're not making mega plans. I mean, I'm going to, my friend Roland here is coming over with me. We're traveling on GS's. I have a GS Adventure 1250, and he's got a GS no, he's got the GS 1250. I think it's the triple black it's called. And yeah, we'll be going with full luggage, boxes and so on the back. So the last time I did that was 2 years ago, so I'm really looking forward to that. I have 2, maybe even 3 weeks of time off from work, and I would imagine now that is Roland giving me a ring now saying, where the hell are you? I'm waiting for you here. So I'll just park in here. I gave it a little rev there. So I'll give you a look at the bikes, folks, and so you know what I'm on if you haven't been on the channel. There's Roland. I wasn't expecting to be there. And there she is, absolutely gorgeous, mint condition. And actually, do you know who the previous owner was? That man there, he was the previous owner of this bike. Should I say that? I'm late. Okay, see you guys. I'll turn you off now, and I'll see you in a bit.